Greetings everybody, I'm on John Wilson's Moodle page and I'm going to teach you about how you use Picasa to create a little digital slideshow that can be embedded in a page or in a block in Moodle. So as you can see on the left, John Wilson has taken photos of his students. He uploaded them to his Picasa account, which is associated with Hopkins Apps. And then he got the code to embed it in the block, and I'm going to show you all those steps. So first of all, we're going to assume that you've already taken the digital photos, and then I'm going to go to the Moodle homepage here because what we have is something called Picasa. It's a web album that's associated with apps. So you want to make sure that you're logged into Moodle, and see how I am in the upper right hand corner. You want to be able to see your name. Then you got to go to apps. So to do that, you click on Docs. And in the past, okay, so we're going to have to wait for that to load. Woohoo! All right. So in the past, I would go under More, and I would go down to Photos, and then it would bring me straight to my Picasa account. Oh, that's interesting that it works for me, but I think for some people it just goes right to what's called Google+, which is Google's new social networking tool. So here's the deal. If you go under the More account and you go to Photos, and you don't see this address right here, picasaweb.google.com, you can literally type that in manually. As long as you're in your apps account, just go ahead and type in here. I'll just show you how I would do this. Picasa Web, that's Picasa with one S, picasaweb.google.com, and if you press it return, it will bring you to a page that looks just like this. And now to upload pictures, you have a couple options for how you do this, but I'm just going to click on upload. And I have some pictures on my desktop from a trip we took this summer, but yours would probably be from some school function. So I have the option to create an album name. So I'm going to put Maine because that's what my pictures are about, our vacation. And I can drag and drop them into here. So if you have them sitting on the side in a folder, you can literally drag and drop, or you can do it the old-fashioned way where you click on select photos from your computer, and then you find the folder, which for me it's on the desktop, and I have a whole thing here of pictures. By the way, you could also, if it's in your iPhoto library, you can go on the left-hand side and go down to Media and click on Photos, and that'll look in your iPhoto library. But I'm going to pick a bunch of these. So if I click on the first one I want, the top one, hold down the Shift key, I can click on several of them that are side by side. That's a way of choosing more than one at once. So I click Open, and what you can see is they begin to load. Now, I probably should not have taken so many because actually this is going extremely fast, which is great, but if I did less, it would go even faster. Let me see if I can pause my video while we wait. Okie dokie, they're all uploaded, and so now I click OK, and I got myself an album, and actually it goes back and I think I'll click on my photos now. Okay, I have a new album over here called Maine. Notice that it is right now, by default, it's private. Only I can see those pictures. If I'm going to actually have this on my Moodle page, they need to be public. So I'm going to click on that little lock right there. And then I'm going to go to editing the privacy settings right here. And under visibility, I'm going to change it to anyone with the link. That means it won't come up in any sort of a crazy Google search, but it will be available if somebody clicks on the link in your Moodle. So I save those changes. And now I want to display this in Moodle. So I click on Link to this album, and you're going to notice that there's something called this Embed in a Website. So I am going to click on this Embed Slideshow so I can customize this. And if you're going to do this in Moodle, you're going to want to take the small version. However, it doesn't need to be quite so small as 144 pixels. That's really teeny. I'll show you how you can customize the size a little bit later. So I am going to copy this code So I highlight it, and I'm going to do either under the edit menu, I could choose copy or Command C on my keyboard. And then I'm going to click done. Now I go back to the Moodle page, and you could, now again, I took the small version because I want to have it in one of these really narrow columns, but you could get a big version if you wanted to add it to a page that you post in the center. All right, I'm going to turn editing on, and in order for me to post this on the page, I need to add an HTML block, which is just a custom one. And I copied the HTML code that I will now paste. So here's my new block, and I click on this icon, which is the configure icon. And I could put a block title if I wanted, and I'm going to put in main vacation. And then you need to click on HTML if you're going to paste HTML, which is code for making web pages. So I go there and I do edit, paste, edit menu paste, or I do Command V, and then I'm going to say update. And then I got my little slideshow here. Now you see how small that thing is? That's not great. So there's a couple ways to make it bigger. And actually there's a way to center it too. So let me just, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to delete my code, and I'm going to start this over. So I'm going to click, oops. I'm going to delete my code and click update. This is a little trick I do to center it. I'll click on the center option, and then I'm going to type in the word blah because that's one of my favorite words. And then I click on HTML, and then I go find the word blah, and I'm going to paste my code there, but not over the other stuff that makes this slideshow centered. So there's my code. Now if you want it a little bigger, I do know that the width of that column is 175 pixels, which is about 1.75 inches. And then I could make this height a little bit bigger as well. So now I click update, and you can see that it's centered and it is in the middle, centered, and it is bigger. So I'm going to click Save Changes. Now note that when your users come here and look at this darling slideshow of my vacation, they might click on it, and then they could see it in larger pictures, or they could even do full screen, which is even better. And then they'd see the captions if you added them. Look how much fun we had in Maine. Cute kids, lighthouse, lobster, it's all good. So that is how you link to a Picasa slideshow, an album of pictures that you've posted in your apps account.